Hello and welcome to An Aside with Alan, Volume 6. Today we're going to look at Trump's reaction to the COVID-19 virus, some of his rather fiery press conferences this week, and does he really have the power to do what he's claiming? So this will fit into the unit we're going to look at next year, where we're going to examine American politics. So this is a kind of look at, but it's important as we go through that we use what's in the news. So Trump claims to have the ultimate power. So this comes to lockdown, how long it will last, what measures will be taken in America to combat the virus. And so he says it's up to him when America will return to normal. However, with America being a federal state, it appears actually that the majority of the power in terms of what happens day to day inside the states sits with the states, and most notably with their governors. So when they brought in early action, or were slower bringing in early action on social distancing, Trump even actually said on record that he couldn't force Republican governors. There's about 6 of them who were holding off. He couldn't make them bring in social distancing measures. So why now has he decided that he has absolute power the other way and he can decide where it all ends? Well, the expert opinion really seems to be that he doesn't. This just seems to be another inflated claim that he's making. The Democrat governor of New York State, who you've probably seen on TV quite a lot over the last couple of weeks, really has gone all out in his response to this, and is accusing of Trump as trying to act like a king, saying we don't have a king, nobody has total authority over the country. This is kind of a real at the heart of American politics and their constitution and how they see the world. That it's all designed to stop all power, ultimate power, lying in the hands of one man. So this is a really dangerous claim by Trump. The actions of government in America to act freely on this issue, full stop, have been questioned already, as there's a lot of protections built into the Constitution. So, for example, actions to close churches, there was already a suggestion that if that was strongly enforced, there could be legal action over that because of the freedom of religion in America. So it appears he's making huge claims about power, but we don't really have, looking at the framework of the Constitution and the way the American political system works, we don't really have anything to back that up. So he says he's got ultimate power, but saying it doesn't necessarily make it so. We've also seen him this week very strongly attacking the media, and even going as far as showing his own montage of video clips to prove that they got things wrong over COVID-19 and he got it all right. Interestingly, the media has been showing series of clips over recent weeks showing how he's completely changed what he was saying and his own inconsistencies. So Trump being at war with the media, in particular bits of the media, is nothing new. But this does seem to have taken it to a new level. I don't know whether you should call this a high point or a low point, really, but it's definitely kind of pushing things up. And again, this appears that the American president he's coming across as being very thin-skinned and unable to take criticism. And when he feels that he is being criticized, he has a tendency to lash out. Now, in the previous presidential election, his attacks on the media seemed to play well, and seem to have continued to play well with his base support. How this will play out in the upcoming election is another matter. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. Is Trump able to kind of rubbish the press that's critical of him to such an extent that people don't believe the criticism, and then when it comes to the election and those media outlets come out against him, whether he will just go, well, yeah, they would say that and it's all false, fake news and the rest of it. There are definitely inconsistencies in what Trump has said, but there have been inconsistencies in various parts of the media as well. America didn't really seem to take the seriousness of it right from the beginning of the outbreak, right from the beginning as it was done in some other countries. Now, the other kind of scapegoat or line of attack that Trump has said is he's attacked who? The World Health Organization. And he's gone as far as cutting their funding from the US, which would be somewhere between $400 and $500 million. So we are talking a huge amount of money. To do this at any point would be extraordinary. To do it in the middle of a pandemic is incredible. He says they failed in their basic duties. He's accused them of covering up what was going on in China. In China, again, one of the other kind of focuses of his attacks. He's been very widely criticised. He's been criticised by the UN. He's been criticised by other countries. He's been criticised by Bill Gates, and the list goes on. Now, the big bit comes out of this: is he just trying to deflect from his own failings, that he hasn't dealt effectively with it, and so he is looking for other people to blame? He doesn't like the big multinational organisations. He very much kind of America for America, and he feels that America doesn't get out what it puts into these big multinational organizations. So he's not been a big fan of them in the past. So whether this is just an opportunity, some of the accusations against the consequences of this are quite enormous. So this could cost many lives, particularly in the developing world. So how will this play with the American people? Will they, like him, be looking for people to blame for the health and economic hardships that are coming, and therefore might this play well? The chances are that, as ever with Trump, that he's incredibly divisive. Those who didn't like Trump will see this as absolute evidence of reasons why you shouldn't like Trump. Trump supporters, however, might well continue to go along with his narrative and the way that he sees things. And so in terms of actual impact in the election as it comes up, this is debatable. I think it will do damage, diplomatic damage to America in terms of its position in the world and interactions with other substantial organizations like the UN. So, and probably the EU as well. So it is quite an extraordinary kind of set of press conferences we've been having. There are some kind of suggestions that we might be seeing the president kind of unravel under the pressure of it all. We've got others who are saying that essentially he's striking out because of fears over his own failings. But there are also those who support him and say, right, who has done a terrible job? They have acted in cahoots with China and covered stuff up. So it is going to be a hugely controversial action. We will see a lot of the media continuing to condemn Trump for his actions. It'll be interesting to see how the American people and people around the rest of the world react to this news. Right, so thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thank you.